I hope that my voice is clearly audible.
Yes, sir. It
Every
is clearly
individual.
audible, sir. Yes.
Okay, sure. The full view presentation.
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Okay. A very good afternoon to all, and special good morning to the rest of the people who are joining from across the globe. My today's before going to be start today's topic, I first congratulate the entire team of Eudoxia Research University, USA, and India for organizing an international conference by taking into the consideration for all the academician, all the scientists, doctors, etc. On this particular platform, today I am going to deliver a small overview of a review towards the various challenges and opportunities in e-learning system post end COVID-19 pandemic. Now, in this particular study, we are going to be focused on some of the highlighted points, which is very much important after the COVID-19. As we are aware that this COVID-19 pandemic, we have a worse time in our life. And even though in this particular worst time as well, the Eudoxia Research Center has given us the flexibility and the enthusiasm to learn something new and extraordinary things. Similarly, that worst time has given us then privilege that to learn the new things which is already being there on the internet itself. So we'll go into the detail one by one. My merely focus on my today's topic is based on the e-learning mechanism, then how it is being affected in case of N COVID-19 situation. Let's talk on this first. The definition of this e-learning system has evolved as a strong alternative in the times of N COVID-19, but along with that, it also possesses some challenges. Now, this particular study or this paper will discuss about the different opportunities and limitations of e-learning system in the education. We are aware that this N COVID-19 has completely changed our mindset from physical to digital life. And it is being revolutionary change from one end to another end. It's our prime motive. We have a huge responsibility on our shoulder to do something, a better opportunity, a better innovation, a better innovative ideas for our student. How we can do this particular activity? By providing them a good knowledge of sense and good human being tendency as it is being suggested by the sustainable goal development across the globe. What are the fundamentals of e-learning? This fundamental of e-learning is basically initiated in the earlys of 2000. In the 2000, the first of the the Zoom activity or the Google Meet has been introduced by various giants of different organization. But into the force, they taken into the consideration and taken into the force in the month of 2013 March. What will be the significance? Significance will started in the September 2019 as there is a significance of and COVID-19 pandemic has to be introduced very rapidly from China to across the globe, different countries as well. So it's our prime motive to discuss some of the tools and applications which are available. What are the different attributes of e-learning? It's very easy to use. Remote learning facility as we are doing, as we are meeting together on this Zoom platform itself. Some more platforms are there like Microsoft Teams are there, Google Teams are there, Conference Alert, and so on. Provides the assessment and evaluation as well. Now, what will be the typical structure of introductory system of e-learning mechanism is all about? As we are aware that in case of traditional approach, a faculty member or a teacher is entered into the class and handling a class of 60 students. In a similar way, we have a teacher, or we can call it as a tutor or a facilitator onto the internet. They will access the student. Once it is being accessed by the students, then they have given them a particular course material, and that course material has to be put it into either cloud or it is being put it onto some server, and it is called as a system administrator who can handle all this operation at the back end. Once it is being, correlated to each other, once it is being familiar with the students, then the tutor or a teacher or a tutor can provide their respective material to the student, and student can join that particular class for the online learning platform point of view. What are the, literature review is all about available? As I identify the n number of research paper related to these e-learning mechanism, I identified two hypotheses over here. That stands for H0, that is null hypothesis, which is very easy to use. And next one is called as H1, that is called as alternative hypothesis. That is the problems which is utilizing that particular modules or softwares. Now, this is, a typical structure of e-learning mechanism. This e-learning mechanism is divided into the four different flavors or four different kinds of mechanism. That is teaching learning process. As we are aware that at the end of the, situation, at the outcome-based education, our India is focusing on outcome-based education or self-reliant and self-reliant Atmanirbhar Bharat. So it consisting of four main attributes. That is teaching and learning process, assignment submission, evaluation, and finally the examination. As a teacher has come up with these ideas, these four parameters, then we can say our self-reliant mechanism has to be, put it onto the bench, and it is being in a perfect situation, as our, Prime Minister goal is to provide them a perfect situation in terms of Atmanirbhar Bharat. What are the objective of this particular study? The main objective is to access and evaluate the significance of e-learning after the end COVID-19, to perform the analysis of e-learning system, which is a new opportunity to teaching learning paradigm, and to examine the challenges which is involved in case of education point of view. What would be the, research methodology which is already being there with us? We have n number of solutions, we have n number of tools which is being there onto the internet. The prime motive is to understand those tools and try to, navigate the student as well from physical life to digital, so that they can also understand what exactly the tools which are already being there by the, different platforms. Now we know that a cloud platform provides us the three main significance, that is software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Now these are methodologies which is being consideration, and I identified some of the, fantastic tool which is already being there onto the internet, that is Zoom, WebEx, Google Meet, Microsoft Team, Canva, and etc. These are the some of the tools which is already being there as we are utilizing from day to day life, and this is importantly utilized for the purpose of, e-learning mechanism. Now, this is the statistics which are already being gone through it from the internet itself. One of the, statistics which are already, I'm studied on Mizoram University. It's a symbolic example. The statistics and the numbers which is already showing on your screen, that is online teaching learning adopted by the Mizoram University during the end COVID-19. You can saw over here some of the activities I identified, like Google Classroom, Zoom, online webinars, YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, email, Swayam MOOC platform. So how many number of teachers they're involved into it, and total number of percentage who are student will involving into it. If you can identify the ratio between the teachers versus student, so it comes across 40 to 50 percentage only. If you take an example of YouTube, so 50 percentage of teachers are involved, whereas 28 percentage of users, students get involved into it. This is a particular research we identified from the category of a school wise K-12 student, the elementary, middle, and high point of view. If you identify this particular theory, that it's a K-12 standard using the online tools USA. So I identified that the schools of, all the schools are utilizing the 57 percentage of online tools, whereas elementary 45 percentage, middle it is 64 percentage, and high end the 63 percentage softwares has been utilized by those institutions at their different levels. What are the, basic limitations which we have identified? That is the limitation of online learning. That's a lack of internet availability and the related infrastructure. So here is the point of, cloud computing, which I already talked about, like infrastructure as a service. As a cloud service provider, they will provide us the services, but at the end of the day, if you won't have the internet facility, it's quite difficult for us to, utilize those kinds of softwares. Data security is important issue. Nowadays, the data leakages and the data security of the data is important factor. lack of awareness about the different ICT tools, limited student-teacher interaction, and power supply availability. So what are the recommendations? Recommendation is try to provide them a platform or a computer systems to the students with all the kind of mechanism which has been provided towards the internet on free of cost. And that's why there's some of the schemes also provided by the government that we need to capitalize and try to put them into the particular platform itself. So e-learning is a strong alternative which is related to face-to-face interaction. So we can provide them into the particular structure towards the student. And keeping in mind its shortcoming, it might be used along with the traditional approach as well. So finally, I can conclude my topic that far as the student perspective point of view, and it will provide us in the critical time of